In my eagerness to want to share with others my own healing, I started to realize that I was not able, in my eagerness, I was not able to listen or hear from my heart. I would many times I would interrupt people. I wouldn't let them finish what they were saying. And I was in my head so much wanting to share before they ever finished that I really wasn't listening to what they were saying. So for so many of them, I wanted to teach, coach, and in some respects, try to save. This was most evident with the two primary relationships that I was in, my partner Susan and my daughter Amy. Amy has been a very profound element of my recovery. I thought I was wanting to help them on their journey of healing, not aware that what I was doing was wanting to save them or change them because I was afraid. One of two examples was to choosing to confront Susan with this awareness that I had made regarding her. I told her at some point I needed to apologize, and she said, "For what?" And I said, "I need to apologize because I've been pressing very hard to change you, to coach you, and in doing that, I feel better, maybe safe." And I realized in redefining addiction, that was a substance for me. And I promised that I was going to stop doing that, and I didn't do a very good job. Number two examples was my daughter Amy. Amy had disabilities when she was born. When I became her guardian, she had already been diagnosed with Parkinson's at the age of 36. Amy's spirit was powerful, and I thought if anyone could learn to manage or even cure herself from the Parkinson's, it could be her. I pressed her hard. I confronted her, hoping that somehow she could turn it around. You see, I thought I was confronting her behaviors. I didn't realize I was confronting her symptoms of Parkinson's. My frustration was huge. I did not know how or what to do to help her. Later, I would realize where this was coming from. So I have to share this at this point. My intent was pure. My intent was honorable. My technique definitely needed some work. But where I really was frustrated with was my expectations. All of my insecurities came up from a space within me of being afraid of being alone, being abandoned by those closest to me. Shortly after Amy's 41st birthday, for lack of a better term, she really crashed bad. And at this point, she started telling us that she was going to die. Obviously, we confronted her with that, hoping that we were just dealing with the behavior. So on the second time I went to go see her at the hospital, I don't know if it was a conscious decision, but it was a decision to just listen and to hear her. So when I got there, she stated this: "I'm going to die soon." And I said, "I hear you, Amy, and I love you." After that, I asked her, "Do you want to die?" And she said, "No." I said, "Okay, I love you, Amy, and I hear you." Then I said, "Why do you think you want to die?" And she looked at her trembling body, her legs and her hands, and she said, "I stopped shaking." I said, "I hear you, and I love you." And then I said, "Is there any more?" And she said, "I go home." A few days later, she made her transformation. So how many of us are so eager thinking that we're helping or trying to relate our stories over someone else's? We can't hear because we're in our heads waiting and wanting to interject our own words and our own stories, or to be explaining or defending ourselves. For those of us who have never been heard and never been listened to from someone else's heart, maybe my practice has allowed me to, for the first time, to be open and vulnerable, to hear and listen. Who out there is ready to do this? And when I explained about intimate relationships, my practice of being my own healer, the healer of self first, I'm recognizing the most intimate relationship is the one with me. And as I heal that, then I can listen and I can hear